All right, hi you guys, Caroline here in Las Vegas, Nevada, here for another Vinyasa class today. So today is a 60-minute Vinyasa. I would call this one probably an all levels class. There will be some challenging postures as well as the basics as well. You will only need a mat, and if you have a yoga block, one or two of them, that will be very useful for a couple of our balances in this practice. Otherwise, just make sure you're in comfortable clothes. So as always, if you enjoy these classes, feel free to donate at paypal.me/CarolineFitness. I really appreciate all of the contributions so far. So have a great practice, everyone. So whatever feels good to you. And then today I suggest taking one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. So just so you can start to feel your breath a little more consciously in your body. So whatever shape you create in your legs, bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Allow your eyes to close. Let go of your morning. Let go of anything going on after this. Start to focus your mind on your mat. Taking note of how your body's feeling today. If it's feeling a little tight and sore, knowing what you need to do to either modify or adjust your practice to make it feel better today. If your body's feeling really good, maybe give yourself permission to push a little more in your practice. Start to notice your breath a little more. First, noticing where your breath is going, if it's into your ribs or your belly. With your hands placed there, it makes it pretty easy to tell because you can feel that rise and fall. Now see if you can start to deepen your breath. So that 1-to-1 ratio of inhale to exhale. As you inhale, you feel your hand that is on your chest rise. And then your hand on your belly rise. And then as you exhale, it goes in the opposite direction, belly, then ribs. Take about 3 more full breaths of this deep, slow breath here. You don't have to worry quite yet whether it's in and out of your nose or your mouth. Just allowing your breath to deepen. One more big breath. Keep your breath just as deep. Start to find your ujjayi. So breathe in and out through the nose. Create that little constriction at the back of the throat. Remembering it can make a sound, almost like you're fogging up a mirror with your mouth closed. Allowing this ujjayi breath to start to create heat within your body. And trying to continue this breath through your entire practice, unless I say otherwise. 2 more full ujjayi breaths right where you are. After you finish that second breath, gently blink your eyes open. If your soles of the feet are together and knees bent, bring your hands to the outsides of your legs, draw them together, and then draw both knees into your chest. Similar integration to the other day. So wrap your arms around the legs, maybe rock side to side, massage the fronts of your hips, get a little bit of movement into the spine. And then when you feel like you've taken enough rock side to side, allow both arms to come out to a capital T shape, palms facing down. Legs come out to a tabletop position, so making sure the thighs are vertical. There's that 90-degree bend in the legs. Then either flex or point those feet, but just activate the feet. Take a deep inhale here. Now keep your legs here as you exhale. At the bottom of your exhale, imagine the front of your rib cage knitting together and the back of your rib cage expanding. Now keep that core engagement for another inhale. As you exhale, both legs go to the right side of the body. Hover them off of the mat so they don't fully touch down. You can feel your obliques engage here. See if you can feel that same knitting together of the front of the ribs and the expansion in the back of the ribs. Inhale, bring your legs back to center. Exhale, let them go over to the left. Again, hovering them off the mat, but feel them squeezing together. Feel that knit of the front, expansion of the back. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, take the legs to the right. Maybe this time, for a little extra challenge, straighten your top leg, so that left leg. You'll notice that puts a little more pressure on the obliques to hold your body up. Make sure you press your left arm back into the mat. Bend that left leg again if you straightened it. Inhale, bring your legs back to center. And exhale, carry them to the left. Same thing here. This time that right leg can straighten. Give yourself that little extra challenge. Hold the core nice and strong. Then gently bend your right leg. Inhale, draw the legs back to center. We'll do one more round. So exhale, bring the legs over to the right. This time maybe straighten both legs for a little extra challenge. Remember, you can stop at each step of the way. Gently bend your legs. Inhale, bring them back to center. Final time, exhale, bring them over to the left. Maybe you straighten both legs, try to squeeze them together, engage those obliques nice and strong. Press your right arm into the floor. Then gently bend your legs. Inhale, bring them back up to center. From here, take your hands underneath the thighs and just start to rock and roll forward and back, giving yourself that little playfulness, finding what feels good. Maybe you pause a little more on the back roll. Maybe you spend a little longer at the top. Take about 2 more full rounds of these rock and rolls here. After that second round, we find our tabletop. So however you like to get there, whether that's crossing the legs underneath you or swinging them around to the side, just finding that alignment in your tabletop position here. So make sure the shoulders stack right over the wrists, hips right over the knees. Those hands are pressing nice and firm into the mat. On an inhale, drop your belly, bring your gaze high. Find your cow pose here. Expand through the collarbone. Then exhale, press through the palms, tuck your tail, scoop out through the belly. Gaze towards those thighs, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high again. Exhale, press through the palms, tuck the tail, press the shins and top of the feet into the mat as well. 2 more rounds. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high. And exhale, press through the palms, tuck your tail. Final time, inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze up. And exhale, press through the palms, scoop out through the belly. From here, come back to your neutral spine, flatten out the back. Reach your right fingertips forward, left leg back. So same as the other day, we find our balance here. Make sure we're not sitting into the low back. We want to find that knitting together with the front, expansion in the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch underneath you, elbow to knee. Really contract into the core. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, contract again. Press the back of the body to the ceiling. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, find that crunch. Then inhale, extend. This time, bend your back leg. Reach back with your right arm to grab the inside of that left foot or ankle. From here, as you inhale, start to kick into that hand. Now this can be as extreme or minimal as you want. We're just creating our first little back bend of the day. So you should feel a nice expansion through the front of the body, maybe the front of the right shoulder. You might feel a little stretch into that left quad and hip. Wherever you are, take one more round of breath. As you exhale, see if you can kick a little bit more into that hand. Then on your next inhale, gently release the leg. Reach your arm and leg long. As you exhale, leg stays up, hand comes down. So we have that left leg elevated still. Inhale, carry it over to the side of the body. Plant that foot. Then bring your body all the way up. Find that capital T shape setting into that gate latch position. So take an inhale here. As you exhale, left hand to left leg, find a deep side bend over, gazing towards that right arm. Press the front of the right hip towards the top of your mat. One more round of breath here. As you inhale, come back to center. This time, as we exhale, that right hand comes to the floor. Left arm sweeps across the body to find a gentle back bend here. So you should feel a stretch in the side, but having this little openness lets us shine the sternum towards the ceiling as well. So enjoy this for one more round of breath. On your next inhale, use those obliques to bring you all the way back up to center. And then exhale, hands come back down to the mat directly under the shoulders. Inhale, carry that left leg up and around to the back of the body. Then exhale, knee comes back to the mat. So we get to do all of that to the other side. So reach your left fingertips forward, right leg reaches back. Find your balance here. Make sure that you aren't sinking into the low back. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch knee to elbow. Contract through the core, press the right hand into the mat. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, find that crunch again. Inhale, extend. Exhale, final crunch here. Inhale, extend. Bend your back leg, reach back with that left arm, grab your foot, start to kick into that hand. So find that expansion through the front of the body, that gentle stretch in the front of the shoulder, maybe a stretch in the quad and hip. Make sure you keep pressing that right hand into the mat. One more breath. Kick a little more on your exhale. Inhale, gently extend your right leg and left arm. Exhale, hand comes back to the mat. Inhale, carry that right leg to the side of the body. Let that foot land. Plant the foot nice and strong. Bring your body up to that capital T shape. So find your balance here. Make sure that you're right over that knee. Take an inhale. Then exhale, right hand to right leg. Find that deep side body stretch. Press the front of the left hip forward. Look up towards that left arm. One more round of breath. Reach a little more on the exhale. Inhale, bring the body back to center, capital T. Then exhale, left hand comes to the floor. Sweep the right arm across the body. Find that side body stretch. Really expand. Feel that deep opening. Maybe shine the heart towards the ceiling for a gentle back bend. One more round of breath. Next, inhale, bring the body all the way back up to your capital T. Exhale, hands come back to the mat. Inhale, lift that right leg, carry it all the way to the back, and exhale, knee comes down. From here, let's tuck those toes, send your hips high, find your first downward dog of the day. So pedal it out, whatever feels good here, maybe bending one knee at a time, just noticing how your body feels in this first down dog. It's your first chance to really check in with the shoulders and hands and wrists. Notice the ankles and feet. And then when you feel ready, find stillness in your downward dog. So knowing that this is one of those kind of home-based poses in the practice, let's check in with a few things. Make sure that your heels are lengthening towards the floor. If they don't touch, it's okay though. We're aiming for those active legs, so pull up on the kneecaps. If it allows you to tip your pelvis a little bit, you can always find a little bend in the knees in this downward dog. That can be a nice modification. Feel your palms and all 10 fingers pressing into the mat really strongly here. Then engage your triceps and imagine moving your belly and rib cage closer to the thighs. You'll notice a nice expansion in the front of the shoulders when you do this. Take one full round of breath here in this down dog. Make sure you still have your Ujjayi breath. Now come high on your toes. Gently step your feet forward just about a foot. So we're essentially creating a miniature downward dog here. If your knees bend a little bit, that's okay. So we still have that kind of triangle shape in the body. Take your right hand, reach it underneath to grab the outside of your left ankle. So we're creating kind of a lever with our arm and ankle here. So once you have that grip, start to spiral your body towards your left arm. So we want to look under that left arm, creating a gentle twist in this downward dog. You can use that right hand to really lever your body if it feels good. Take one more round of breath here. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release your twist. Right hand comes back to the mat. We do the same thing on the other side. So left hand reaches underneath you. It grabs the outside of the right ankle. Take an inhale. Your exhale is your twist. Gaze underneath that right arm. Find that really nice rotation in the body. Use your left arm to help you twist a little bit more. One more round of breath. Take another inhale. And exhale, gently release your left hand to the mat. Bring your gaze forward. Keep walking your feet all the way to the top of the mat. We'll set up for ragdoll. So feet are hip-width distance here. Take a generous bend in the knees. Let the torso hang heavy over the thighs. Make sure that your head is relaxed here too. So you want to imagine the crown of your head being the lowest part of your upper body. So no tension in the back of the neck. Maybe take opposite elbows here or interlace behind the head, whatever feels good. Maybe find some movement, shifting your weight side to side, maybe a little swing forward and back. Maybe shake the head yes and no. As always, the goal here is to lengthen the spine, not to necessarily stretch the backs of the legs, even though you might get one. Take just one more inhale here. And exhale, gently release your arms to the mat. Toe heel your feet to touch underneath you, so bring the toes together. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, it's that flat back. Then exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, let your gaze follow. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a moment to bow your chin, close your eyes, set your intention for your practice today. Whatever you choose to focus your mind on within this hour, whatever that intention is, let's seal it in with a breath. So take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Keep your eyes closed, seal your lips. Take about 3 more full Ujjayi breaths. So refocus your mind on those inhales and exhales as well as your intention. 2 more breaths. Final breath. Gently blink your eyes open. We'll move into a few rounds of our Sun A, a different modification each time. So as you inhale, reach your arms up, let your gaze follow. As you exhale, take a forward fold, so leading with the heart. You can either swan dive or take your hands through heart center. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen that spine. Fingertips are on the mat or hands to the shins if you want a little more support. Making sure we're not arching the back here, but just expanding through the top of the head. Your next exhale is your forward fold again. Allow that head to drop. From here, step your feet back, find your high plank. So lengthen through the crown of your head all the way down to your heels. Now let your knees come down to your mat without dropping the tailbone. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. So keep hugging the elbows into the body. Once you arrive, untuck the toes. Inhale, find your baby cobra. So we just lift the top part of the chest, hug your elbows into the body, press the tops of your feet into the mat. So our legs are really active here, pressing down. As you exhale, let your chest come back down again. We do that 2 more times. Inhale, find your baby cobra, maybe lift a little bit higher. And exhale, release it down. Final time. Inhale, find your baby cobra, maybe lift the hands off the mat, really integrate the back of your body. And exhale, release the chest down. From here, inhale, press through your tabletop position, all fours. Tuck those toes, exhale, downward facing dog. 3 full Ujjayi breaths here. Final breath. Gently bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of your mat, toes come to touch underneath you. You inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, let your gaze follow, and exhale, hands come to heart center. First part is the same, so inhale, reach the arms high. This is our Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. This is your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Then exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank again. Inhale, shift your weight forward, then either bring your knees down or not. We lower, exhaling all the way to the belly again, so hug the elbows in. This time around, hands stays where they are. Inhale, lift your chest and legs off the mat. So now we're in a locust variation. You can feel the backs of your legs engage a little more. Pull your elbows back towards your body and squeeze your glutes. Lift one more inhale, see if you can lift everything a little higher. And exhale, release everything down. Inhale, either press up to plank or move through your tabletop position. So taking your choice there. Then exhale, send your hips high, find your downward dog. Let's just take one breath here this time. Now bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of your mat, toes come to touch. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Then exhale, hands come to heart center. One more round of this sun A. Let's add a little at the beginning. So inhale, reach your arms high. Right hand grabs that left wrist. As you exhale, take a deep side bend over to the right. Really press your left hip to the left side. Inhale, move back through center, switch your grip. Exhale, bend the other way. Feel the deep stretch through the right side of your body. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Then exhale, take your forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palm, step back into a high plank. This time, option to chaturanga or lower to your belly. So if you take that chaturanga, it's that half push-up, 90-degree bend in the arms. Inhale, come to your upward dog or baby cobra. If you're in that up dog, the tops of the feet press into the mat, lift your kneecaps off the mat and pull your chest through the arms. Then everyone exhales into their downward dog, however you choose to get there. Take one full breath here. Bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of your mat, toes come to touch. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Moving into our sun B, inhale, find your chair pose. Utkatasana, bend into those legs nice and deep. Make sure your weight shifts slightly back to those heels. Now lift your chest up and off the thighs. So we're aiming for that more upright torso here. See if you can relax your shoulders without pressing them down too aggressively. Engage your triceps, spiral your pinky fingers in towards each other slightly. Maybe look up towards the hands. One more inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Bring that chest low. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Now exhale, hands hover on that mat, step your left leg back. Setting up for warrior one, left heel comes down to the mat, toes point towards the front left corner. Inhale, reach your arms up. So we're in that Virabhadrasana 1. Bend nice and deep into that front leg. Imagine squaring everything off, so right hip and shoulder pull back slightly. See if you can bend a little deeper. Ideally, that knee is right over that ankle in the front. Take an inhale here, maybe find a gentle back bend. Then exhale, warrior two. Bring your arms to a capital T shape. If you need to scoot your feet out a little bit to deepen your stance, feel free. Our gaze is over those right fingertips. That is our drishti. From here, inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach the right fingertips up and back. Find a deep side body stretch. See if you can bend deeper into that right leg. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat to frame the foot. Step your right foot back, downward dog. From your downward dog, inhale, reach your right leg high, open the hips. So stack your right hip over left, bend the knees, circle the ankle. We're still trying to spiral our right shoulder down towards the floor. So the twist happens in the lower half of the body, not the upper half. When you feel like you've taken enough movement there, inhale, straighten your leg again, square the hips off, so right toes point down. Then exhale, step through between your hands. Let your back knee come down so that body stays low, the toes untuck. Inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. So drop the hips down nice and low. You should feel a good stretch in the front of that hip flexor, maybe even the psoas. And here we'll take a back bend. So inhale, open through your chest. As you exhale, cactus the elbows, pull them down, open through the heart a little bit more. And inhale, reach your arms high again. Exhale, hands come to the mat to frame that foot. Tuck your left toes, engage the legs so that kneecap comes off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lift your leg to 90 degrees, toes point straight down. And then exhale, forward fold. Left foot meets the right, let your body go low. From here we find our chair again. So inhale, bend into those legs, reach the arms up. See if you can sit a little bit deeper. We're not here for quite as long. Now on your next exhale, we take that forward fold. Bring the chest low. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, step your right foot back, setting up for our warrior one again. So right heel comes down, toes point towards the front right corner. Inhale, reach your arms up. Same checks on this side. So we want to find that lengthening through the front of the right hip, but pull your left hip and shoulder back slightly. Make sure we're not sitting into our low back. So really press the hips forward, engage the glutes a little bit in this posture. Take an inhale, maybe open through the heart, and exhale, warrior two. Find that capital T shape in the arms, maybe lengthen your stance a little bit. Reach your fingertips in both directions, gazing over the left ones. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Reach the fingertips up and back. Make sure you still have that deep bend in your left leg. So we want to have that strength of the front leg rooting into the earth. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. Left leg steps back, downward dog. Hips lift up nice and high. Inhale, lift your left leg, open the hips, bend the knee, circle the ankle and knee again. Find that nice stretch through the hip. Wherever else you might feel this, make sure the left shoulder point is down towards the floor. On your next inhale, straighten that leg, square the hips off, and exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Back knee comes down, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Drop the hips down nice and low. Find that expansion as you inhale, heart to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus. So find that same back bend here. Pull the elbows down, open through the heart. Inhale, reach the arms high again. Exhale, hands come down to frame that foot. Tuck your toes, engage your back leg, kneecap off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, 90-degree angle in those legs. Imagine you're stepping on a wall with that back foot. As you exhale, it's our forward fold. Right foot meets the left, let the chest go low. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, chair pose again. Lots of chairs in today's flow, so sit those hips down nice and low. This time around, bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale, find some length through your spine. As you exhale, prayer twist, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Now, as you get into this twist, look down at your legs. If that left knee and hip have crept forward, pull them back. So we want both knees to be in alignment side to side. Once you check that, shift your gaze towards that right elbow if it's comfortable. See if you can drop your hips lower than your heart. So really expand through the top of the head. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose again. Bend into those legs even deeper. This might be our final chair, so bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, right elbow outside of the left leg. We twist the opposite way. So same check here. Look down at your legs. If your right knee has crept forward, try to pull it back. See if you can look towards that left elbow once you arrive. Drop the hips down lower than the heart. One more inhale here. And exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, left leg steps back, setting up for warrior one again. So put that heel down and inhale, reach the arms up. Bend nice and deep into that right leg. As you exhale, it's our warrior two. So find that capital T, whatever adjustments you need to make. Now straighten out through that right leg. You can always move the left foot in a little bit. We're setting up for triangle, our Trikonasana. So start to reach your right fingertips forward, left hip back as you inhale. Then exhale, tip. Allow the left side of the body to stack over the right. Now same cue as last class. We want to press the left side of the rib cage down and lengthen the right side of the rib cage. Gaze up towards that left hand if it's possible. Take one more round of breath here. Maybe see if you can hover that right hand off of wherever it's supporting you. Next inhale, bring your body upright, reverse your triangle. So right fingertips reach up and back, find a deep side bend with straight legs. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Let's find our lizard from here. So let your back knee come down, toes untuck. Toe heel the right foot out slightly, so both hands come inside of that right foot. This might be enough for you here, or you can come down to your forearms. Making sure that your front shin is vertical, so that knee isn't going past the whole foot. You can let that head relax if it feels good. You can keep a neutral spine if it feels good. Dropping the hips nice and low. Take about 2 more full breaths here. If you're on your forearms, gently come back to your hands. Now from here, keep the hands planted. Just bring the right leg back to a tabletop position. So we're stacking the shoulders over the wrists. From here, come down to your forearms, step your feet back, find a forearm plank. So long line from the crown of the head to the heels. Today, try to have a number 11 shape with your forearms. So instead of interlacing the fingers and creating a triangle shape, try to keep your forearms parallel. Press the forearms into the mat so you can dome through the shoulders. Now from here, we'll find our side forearm plank. Left side is our base first. So that left hand can rotate in to find a perpendicular angle to your right arm. Then pivot to the outside of your feet to come to the left side. Now you can keep the feet staggered today for this first forearm plank. We'll come here once more in the practice, so keep breathing. Lift the right fingertips high, lift that left hip away from the mat. One more inhale here. Exhale back to the middle, coming to that number 11 shape once more. Now we do forearm on the other side. So right hand moves in towards the left elbow. Shift to the side plank again. Staggering your feet this first time. Lift the fingertips high, gaze towards that arm. Right obliques are nice and strong. One more inhale here. And exhale back to the middle, coming back to those forearms. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, knees come down to the mat, press back to a child's pose just for a moment. That forehead can come to the mat, press the hips towards the heels. Take active arms in this child's pose, so triceps are engaged, elbows off the mat. Inhale, move through your tabletop position. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips high, find a downward dog. Take 3 full breaths here because we get to do all that on the other side. So tune back in with that Ujjayi breath. Final breath. Bring your gaze forward, maybe step or maybe hop to the top of your mat. Feet come together underneath you. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. This is really our final chair. So inhale, find your chair pose again. Bend nice and deep into your legs. This time, as you exhale, bring your chest low, reach your arms back behind you. So we're in this Ardha Utkatasana. We're finding length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. That back is relatively parallel to the floor. Now you can stay right here, or if you want a little extra challenge, you can shift your weight towards those toes. Start to lift your heels off the mat. Keep squeezing your adductors together. Legs are super squeezing towards each other, belly button away from the thighs. Wherever you are, take one more inhale. Exhale, heels come down, take your forward fold, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, right leg steps back for our warrior one. So spiral your heel down to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up, finding that strength in the legs. As you exhale, it's warrior two. So capital T in the arms, bend nice and deep into that left leg, gaze over the left fingertips. Straighten through your left leg, toe heel your right foot in slightly if you did so on the first side for our Trikonasana, triangle. Inhale, shift your weight forward, left fingertips reach to the front. Exhale, tip. Take your left hand wherever you took it on the first side. Press the right side of the rib cage down, left side lengthens, look up towards that right hand. Feel all 10 toes rooting down into the mat. One more round of breath, maybe float your left hand off of wherever it's supporting you. Inhale, body comes all the way up, reverse that triangle. So left fingertips reach up and back with straight legs. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, finding our lizard pose. So back knee comes down, the toes untuck, both hands come inside of that leg, your left foot moves out a little bit. Matching whatever you did on the first side. So you can either come down to the forearms, you can stay on those hands, whatever feels good for you today. Maybe observe the differences between sides, if this side feels a little tighter, or if this side feels better. Wherever you are, take about 3 more breaths. Gently start to come back to those hands. Now from here, that left leg meets the right, finding your tabletop position again. So let's set up for that forearm plank one more time. So come down to the forearms, then step one foot back, then the other, finding that long line from crown of the head to the heels, making sure you're not dropping the hips or lifting them too high. From here, we'll come to our left side first, so right side will be our base. So bring those right fingertips in, pivot the body. This time, see if you can stack the left foot on top of the right. So this is going to give you a little more challenge when it comes to stability. If this feels pretty good, maybe you float your left leg. Wherever you are, keep breathing. You have one more full round of breath. Final inhale here. Exhale back to the middle. Come to those forearms. We move right to the other side. So inhale, left hand pivots in. Come to the outside of the left foot. Maybe stack the feet. Do whatever you did on the first side. If you floated that foot, lift it up here. Make sure those right foot toes point straight towards the side of the room. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, come back to your forearm plank. Make sure your forearms are parallel to each other. This time, let your hips come down. Untuck your toes for Sphinx pose. So check that your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders here. We want vertical forearms. Now imagine pulling your chest through your arms with those elbows. Expand through the collarbone. Feel your lats engage, shoulder blades sliding down the back. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, maybe so much that your kneecaps lift off the mat. Stay here for 3 full breaths. Think of lifting your belly button away from the floor. You'll notice that tiny tuck of the tail, which activates the low abs. 2 more breaths. Take one more inhale all together. Exhale, release the chest down to the floor. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Either inhale, move through your tabletop, or press to your plank, all in one piece. Then exhale, send your hips high, downward dog. Let's take 3 full exhales here. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. 2 more times, inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. Final time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Seal the lips, breathe in and out through the nose again. Find that Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through between the hands. Keep your back heel lifted this time, and inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. So same as warrior one, our hip and shoulder are pulling back in the front to aim for that square hip. We're pressing our left heel forward with as much energy as possible. Bring your hands to heart center here. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Now, like we did in chair, exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Take a prayer twist here. If you can hook that elbow, that's great. You can use that for leverage, but make sure your right knee doesn't collapse inward. So we're engaging the adductors, squeezing the legs towards each other, but that knee is pressing into the elbow as much as the elbow presses into the knee. Take one more round of breath here. Twist a little bit more on your exhale. On your next inhale, bring your body back to center, reach the arms high. Exhale, thunderbolt. Like our half chair, we bring the chest low, reach the fingertips back so you have a long line from the crown of the head down to your left heel. Now take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, shift your weight forward, finding our warrior 3 with airplane arms. So we're aiming for a capital T shape in the body. Left toes point straight down towards the floor. Fingertips reaching with tons of energy towards that back wall. You have 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. Crescent lunge as you exhale. Bend that front leg, back leg lands. Reach the arms high to inhale. This should feel really good now. As you exhale, find your warrior 2. From here, straighten through that right leg, setting up for triangle again. So this time you can go a little further. Inhale, reach your right fingertips forward. Exhale, tip. Now make sure you find your balance here. Shift your gaze down towards your right foot. Now this is a time, if you have a block or 2 blocks, have them handy. You might enjoy using it. If you don't have a block, you get an extra challenge today. We find our half moon from here. So shift your weight towards that right foot. Right hand plants forward and outside the right foot. so that you can lift your left leg off the mat. Now, if you have a block, this is a great time to put your hand on that block for extra support. Now, similar cue to that triangle, see if you can press the left side of your ribcage down, extend through the right side to find length through both sides of the body. Wherever you are, keep kicking that left leg. Take one more inhale here. Now, Shiva squat as you exhale. Both hands come to the mat today. So bend your right leg, tap your left knee to your right calf. Now check that your hips have squared off here, so they're not open to the side of the room anymore. Our weight is still on that right leg, so if it's shaking, that's great. As you inhale, find a 90-degree angle in those legs. Straighten your bottom leg. So left leg points straight down towards the floor. Leave your left hand on the mat. Right hand comes to the hip. Find your balance here. As you inhale, see if you can start to spiral your chest towards that right leg for our revolved half moon. So here we're in that squared off hip position. See if you might extend the right fingertips. So we have a long line of energy from the right hand down into the left hand. This is meant to be a really hard pose. So if you come out of it, try to jump right back in. Take just one more inhale here. Now we lower into a lunge, keeping this revolved position as you exhale. So left hand stays down, bend your right leg, let your left leg land behind you. From here, we inhale back to our crescent lunge. So bring both arms up. As you exhale, find your warrior two. We've been here before. That right leg's probably shaking. I promise it gets relief in a second. So straighten that right leg, pivot both sets of toes to face the side of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, fold forward, Prasarita. Now you have options here. You can either walk the hands back slightly. You can also take peace fingers to big toes or around the ankles. Whatever variation feels good for you. Just let the crown of the head be heavy here. You can finally relax in this posture, kind of. So make sure your weight is still shifted forward. Your kneecaps are pulling up so that your quads can engage. Think tailbone to the ceiling. Imagine lengthening the crown of your head to the floor. Maybe someday it touches the floor. Take about 2 more full breaths here. On your next inhale, walk your hands under your face. Find a halfway lift, so coming to the fingertips, lengthen the spine. Now, shift your gaze towards your right foot. Start to walk your hands towards that right leg. Find a low lunge at the front of your mat. That back heel should still be off the mat. From here, inhale, step your left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Toe heel your feet to hip width distance from here for Padangustasana. So big toe forward fold. We take our 2 peace fingers, wrap them in and around the big toes. So we're finding a bind here. Bend those knees if that feels better for you. Once you have your grip, inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, use your arms to pull you forward. Let your head be nice and heavy here. Relax any tension in the neck and spine. If you don't have a belly to thigh connection with straight legs, like I said, bend those knees. That's going to support you a lot more. Stay here for about 3 more breaths. Final inhale here. Exhale, gently release your hands from your feet. Plant your palms in front of you. Toe heel your feet back to touch underneath you. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, either take a vinyasa or step back to downward dog. So whatever feels good to you. If you take a vinyasa, that's that chaturanga, upward and downward dog. Otherwise, just step right back to dog. Once you reach your downward dog, tune back in with your Ujjayi breath and get ready for the other side. So inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step through between your hands. Back heel stays lifted off the mat. To inhale, reach the arms up, find your crescent lunge. Then nice and deep into that front leg, square off the hips. So left hip and shoulder back, right side forward. Bring your hands to heart center. Feel your inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist, right elbow to the outside of the left leg. So finding this prayer twist here, that leverage of elbow to knee without collapsing the left knee inward. See if you can spiral your chest open a little more. Maybe look towards that left elbow. One more breath, twist more on your exhale. On your next inhale, unwind. Reach the arms all the way up to that high fingertips. And exhale, warrior two, capital T in the arms. Straighten through your left leg, shorten your stance if you need to, setting up for our triangle. So inhale, reach the left fingertips forward, right leg back. Then exhale, tip. Allow that left hand to come wherever it feels good for the moment. Feel that lengthening of the bottom side, that left side in this triangle. Now shift your gaze down towards that left foot. We set up for half moon on this side. So if you used a block, feel free to pull it in. It'll go forward and outside of that left foot. Shift your weight forward slightly towards your left leg, bend that leg. Inhale, shift all the way forward. Left hand comes to that mat, forward and outside of the foot. Finding this half moon. Aiming to keep the right side spiraling open. Right leg is active, so really engage that kneecap, flex that foot, toes should point towards the side of the room. Keep reaching your right fingertips high. You have one more inhale here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Bend your left leg, tap your right knee to your left calf. Your fingertips hover on the mat. This is our check to find square hips. So make sure your right hip point is back forward. We're not opening to the side. Now right hand stays down. Left hand comes to the hip. Inhale, find that 90-degree angle in the legs. Once you find your balance here, we start to spiral the chest towards that left leg, finding our revolved half moon. Maybe you extend the left fingertips high, keep kicking that foot towards the back wall, keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Remember, it's not meant to be easy. Take one more inhale here. Now we keep this revolved upper body. As you exhale, find your lunge. So bend your left leg, right foot comes down to the mat. Nice, everyone. From here, let your hand come down. Inhale, step your foot all the way forward, finding your forward fold. Now see if you can toe heel your feet to hip width distance again. We're finding our Padahastasana, our gorilla pose. So the palms of the hands slide underneath the feet. So you're literally stepping on your hands. Your toes touch that little wrist crease. From here, inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, use your arms to pull you forward. Remember, a gentle bend in those knees is okay. Your head can relax. I realize we forgot our airplane in Warrior 3 on that side, so just count it as a nice little gift from me to you today, so keep breathing. I promise we get 2 more standing balances, so just tune back in with your breath right now. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, gently release your hands from your feet. From here, just take a little bend in your knees. Start to roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Once you get to standing, take a big shoulder roll up and back, and step your feet together underneath you. So like I said, 2 more standing balances today. We'll work into our Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So 2 variations you can do. First off, we'll be standing on our left leg first. So feel that leg rooting down into the earth. Your toes can even spread out and plant into the mat. Bring your left hand to your hip. Inhale, draw your right knee into your chest. So we're aiming for that 90-degree angle in the leg. Now 2 options. You can either take your right hand to the outside of that right knee, or if you're feeling a little more open in the backs of the legs, you can take peace fingers to big toe, catch there. Wherever you choose to go, plug your right shoulder and hip backwards. So we're trying to keep a square upper body. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, carry your leg to the side of your body without lifting that hip. So we want to drop the right hip down, keep pressing the front of the left hip forward. Use your knee pressing into your hand for oppositional balance. Maybe you shift your gaze towards the left side for some extra challenge. We're shifting that drishti. We're only here for 2 more breaths today. Inhale, bring your gaze back to center, knee comes back to center. Now we don't get to put it down quite yet. Switch hands. So your left hand is going to come to that right knee. Right hand will come to the hip. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, twist towards your right leg. So now we're in the revolved version of that pose. Maybe extend your right arm. That can sometimes help with balance. It can sometimes make you tip over. Whatever happens, come back into it. That gaze can shift to the right if you feel good about it. Now inhale, hand comes back to the hip. Shift your gaze back to center one last time. See if you can reach your arms towards the ceiling. Kick that right leg forward. Imagine you're stepping on a wall in front of you for just one more inhale. And exhale, right foot meets the left. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to breathe. We do that on the other side, and then I promise we are down to a seat. So getting ready for these standing balances on the other side. Right side is our base, so root down through that leg, spread your toes out, press them back into the mat. Bring your hands to the hips. Inhale, left leg comes to the chest. Whatever variation you did on the first side. So either hand to the outside of the knee, left hand to left knee first, or peace fingers to big toe. Take an inhale here, plug your hip and shoulder back. As you exhale, carry that leg to the side. Check that your hip is still dropped down, they're nice and even. Maybe you shift your gaze to the right. Keep pressing your knee into the hand, hand into the knee. Use those two opposing forces to create your stability in the body. 2 more rounds of breath right here. Inhale, bring your gaze back to center. Knee comes back to center. We do that switch. So right hand comes to left knee, left hand comes to the hip. Find your balance here. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist towards your left leg. So we're in that revolved Utthita Hasta Pangustasana. We're opening the chest. See if you can shift your gaze to the left if you haven't yet. Maybe you extend those left fingertips out and back. Keep flexing your left foot nice and strong. 1 more round of breath. Inhale, hand comes back to the hip. Bring your head back to center. Reach your fingertips high, straighten that left leg. You just have 1 more inhale here. Kick it nice and high. And exhale, foot lands, hands come to heart center. Take a moment to bow your chin, close your eyes, refocus your mind and breath. One more breath here. Now inhale, surprise chair. Bend those legs, reach your arms up nice and high. This is just a transition. So we make our way to a seat from here. So start to bend into those legs. The chest will come low. The arms will eventually reach forward. You are going as long as you can without touching your hands to the floor. Eventually, if you need to, you can bring those hands down and bring your legs out in front of you. We made it to the seat. So both legs come out long for our Paschimottanasana. Draw the legs together, flex the feet, engage the legs. Make sure the core is engaged as well. Inhale, reach the arms high. Find some expansion through the upper body. Now keep this length as you exhale, fold forward. Grab onto your legs, your feet, whatever feels good. Actively use your arms to pull you as if you're lengthening your collarbone towards the toes. Your legs are still active. Find length through the crown of your head. You have 4 more breaths here. Each exhale, you get to pull a little more with those arms. 3 more breaths. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release your chest down, roll back up through your legs. And then gently open your legs wide. So we're setting up for a wide-legged straddle here. I'm turning sideways, as always, because I don't have the space. So from here, we will do a nice side bend. So allow your left hand or right hand to come inside your right leg. Come down to the elbow if it's available to you. Not a big deal if it's not. Inhale, reach your right fingertips high, open the chest towards the side. Then exhale, start to tip. So right hand will reach towards that left foot, or left hand to right foot in a perfect world. You might grab onto that foot if it's available. If not, keep reaching those fingertips. Keep spiraling your chest open. Take 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, let your right fingertips bring you all the way back up. Bring your right hand, or left hand, sorry, I'm cueing reverse of you guys, so left hand inside of that left leg. Inhale, reach the right fingertips high, and then exhale, tip. So find that stretch on the other side. Whatever side you did first is perfect. Just make sure you're doing both sides. Keep spiraling your chest open, one side stacked over the other, almost like we're in that half moon still. So we're aiming for that lengthening of the bottom side. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale, let your fingertips bring you all the way back up to seated. And then gently bring your hands to your legs, draw them together in front of you. Once they come together, give yourself a windshield wiper side to side. Linger a little on each side to work that internal rotation of the leg. Then from here we make our way to our back. So if you want to work your core a little bit on the way down, you can extend the legs and articulate through the spine. Otherwise, just lay all the way down on that mat. Once you arrive, bring both feet flat to the floor, so knees will be towards the ceiling. We'll find a figure 4 here. So bring your right ankle to your left knee. That right knee will press out slightly. Thread your right arm through to grab around that left hamstring or maybe around the shin. Wherever you are, draw your legs in towards your chest without popping the tailbone. So if that tailbone lifts, lengthen it back down towards the floor. Keep breathing here. Each exhale, you can draw the legs in a little more. If you want a little deeper of an opening, you can use your right elbow to press into your right thigh. Take about 4 more full breaths here. Final inhale. As you exhale, let your legs release to the mat, but keep your figure 4 shape, so that right ankle is still on that left knee. Let your arms come out to a capital T shape, palms face down. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, let your legs fall to the left side. Maintain that figure 4, so that right foot will actually step onto the floor here. Now you can adjust the legs. I usually like to pull my right foot in a little bit and move my legs closer to me, but you can find what feels good. Sometimes it can feel nice to grab onto that right ankle and then gently press the right knee away from you. You might get a nice stretch in the outside of that leg. You can always let your gaze fall to the right side if that feels good. Take about 4 more breaths. Once you finish that 4th breath, inhale, gently bring your head back to center. Bring your legs back to center. Release them for a second, draw them into your chest, wrap your arms around the shins, give yourself a hug, maybe rock side to side. Then gently release both feet back to the mat again for our figure 4 on the other side. So left ankle comes to that right knee, thread your left arm through, grab underneath or over the leg, whatever you did on the first side. Legs draw into the chest. See if you can maybe press your left knee away from you, only if it feels good. Remembering to dorsiflex those feet if you ever get knee pain in this pose. The whole length of your spine imprints into the mat for about 4 more breaths. Final inhale here. Exhale, keep the figure 4 shape, but let both legs come to the mat, so right foot plants on the floor. Bring your arms out to your capital T, take an inhale here. And exhale, let both legs fall to the right side, your left foot steps on the floor. Maybe you adjust the legs a little bit, maybe you grab onto that left ankle and press the knee away from you. Just match whatever you did, maybe let your gaze fall to the left. 5 full breaths here. Final round of breath. Inhale, gently bring your gaze back to center. Legs come back to center. Unwind them. Draw them into your chest one last time. Start to squeeze yourself into a tiny little ball. So lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Flex or point those feet. Engage the core. Scrunch up the face. Tuck the chin into the chest. We're holding it here for 2 more breaths. So keep gathering in any extra tension, stress, energy that you have left. Final inhale. Squeeze everything even tighter. And exhale, Shavasana. Let both legs extend onto the mat, about mat width distance. Arms released by your sides, a little bit out, palms face up. Allow your eyes to close. Start to release through your body. Let go of everything we've done in this practice. Let go of anything still in your mind. Let go of the control over your breath. Let your eyes relax and fall back. Let your jaw unclench. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Work your way down your body, consciously relaxing every single part of you. And for the next couple of minutes, just enjoy this stillness here in this Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath first. Find deep inhales and deep exhales. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe let your head rock side to side. And gently reach your arms above your head. Find a good morning stretch from your fingers down to your toes. And then keeping your eyes closed and moving as slow as you'd like. Roll to your side and then gently to a seat. Not worrying about where you face or what way your legs are. And once you arrive in a seat, just bring your hands to heart center, allow your chin to bow. And take a moment to thank yourself for doing something good for your mind and body for an hour out of your morning. The light within me meets, greets, and honors the light within all of you. And until we see each other again, namaste.